everybody. We're here again with a great chat today. I found a very special guest, and it's Blade Berger. Blade has got a very unique concept in terms of training. It's been around a while, but he's kind of taken it to another level. So I'm going to leave Blade to explain what he does. His concept is called Future Fitness. Blade, you want to tell us about what you're up to?
So basically at Future Fitness we offer EMS training. What EMS training stands for is electromuscular stimulation training. So basically in a nutshell what we do is we train our clients in suits like this, and this is our EMS device here. Basically what EMS training does is it's a stimulus that is created by the body to move any muscle. So any muscle in the body or any movement that you want to make, a stimulus is produced in the brain and then sent down to those correct muscles, and then the contraction or the movement is performed. But what our machine does is then mimics the impulses onto the muscles, directly onto the muscle, and contracts them. So you can train your entire body, which is every single muscle group in the body, is training at once. Okay. So a 20-minute session with the suit on is the equivalent of 4 hours in the gym.
Wow.
So the reason we say it's 4 hours in the gym is if you had to get that pure contraction in the muscle on every single muscle group, training them individually, you'd have to train for up to 4 hours. Whereas with the suit on, you can train every single muscle group at once. So it doesn't matter if you're training your chest or your abdominals or your legs. While you're doing a certain exercise, every single other muscle group is working in the body as well.
Okay, before we carry on, I see the suit up here. Are you telling me I've actually got to wear the suit in the gym when I go to the gym?
So it's not a general gym or general fitness facility like you would think a Virgin Active or a Planet Fitness like that. It's more of a personalized training studio. So we've got a studio in Cape Town, we've got a studio in Joburg where you actually come and we train you in our own facility. So it's not a machine that you purchase and you go and just train on your own. We actually provide you one-on-one training. So yes, basically you'll wear this suit and we will take you through a full fitness, functional fitness session with a personal trainer. We'll do all the exercises with you. We develop the training programs a lot, and we take you through them on a weekly basis, depending on how many times a week you'd like to train with us. We have our fitness professionals within each studio that will then train you and take you through every workout. Yes.
Very interesting. So do I do normal sort of exercises that I would do in the gym just with the suit on?
So yes, basically, yeah. So certain movements and certain exercises that we do are general functional movements. For example, squats and lunges and planks and the general functional movements that you would normally do. But we have adjusted it. Obviously, we found exercises that work well with the EMS training and some of them that don't really work so well. So for example, doing burpees and things like that in a suit like this can become a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've adapted most of the exercises, but it's all exercises that you would have done in a general gym facility.
Okay. Now I'm going to have to ask a stupid question. Am I not going to get shocked to death here?
We get asked that a lot. No, you're not going to get shocked. It's actually not an electrical impulse. So when people hear the word electromuscular stimulation, they think electricity and shock. So it's not actually anything like that. When we say there's an electro in there, it's not electro as in electricity, it's an electrostimulation from the brain that your body works with. So it's your central nervous system that creates those impulses in the body. So the machine is creating a contraction of the muscles. So there's no shocking, there's no, it's not like sticking your finger in the wall. That's a completely different shock that we're going to give you. So so it's a little bit more of a contraction more than an electric shock.
Okay.
So it's not painful. We haven't shocked anyone yet.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so all the stupid questions out the window. Now, how does the science behind this work? So, why is it better to train like this than just for me to do my exercise?
So like we said when we spoke about the central nervous system, so your central nervous system is creating all the impulses and all the electrons in the body to create the contractions and the movement within the body. What's nice with the EMS training is the ability to train your entire body at once. So in today's day and age, people, working professionals like you and me, we don't have the time to go to gym for an hour or 2 hours in a day. Everyone says gym is only 45 minutes to an hour, but it's getting there, it's the changing, it's the training, it's showering, getting back home or back to work or whatever. By the time you look at it, it's a 3-hour expedition out of the office or away from your family.
Yeah.
Whereas with us, the 20-minute sessions is a lot more efficient, time efficient. it's 20 minutes in, you're out, you're done. If you including a shower or whatever, you're looking at maximum 45 minutes.
Wow.
So in terms of the time beneficiary, it's unparalleled in the fitness industry. The results that we're getting in such a short amount of time with the training is incredible.
Yeah.
Then on the other side is you training, it's a full body workout. So you're training your entire body, which is nice. You're not going to gym and just training that one muscle group or those two muscle groups in a day that you're training. You're actually training your entire body. So in terms of that, it's just a time benefit as well. And also, if you're not just looking for the time, if you do have the time to go to gym every day, it's another thing. It's a different way to test your body. I mean, athletes like Usain Bolt and some of our professional rugby players in the country are using this technology because they're able to test their body in a whole new way. We're using it to train Absa Cape Epic riders, Comrades runners, Two Oceans runners. Endurance athletes get a lot of benefit out of the EMS because they get to test their body in a whole new level and take their body to a level that they wouldn't be able to. Going to cycle 150 Ks, they can do that. Their bodies are adjusted to do that. But put them on the machine for 20 minutes and they really get tested. So that's where the benefit
is.
is.
Interesting because your initial perception would be this is just somebody looking for a lazy way to train.
So that is another reference that we hear often is the lazy man's training because of the time benefit, and people say that it really is the lazy man's way because you're just putting a suit on and exercising. So you've got to take the goods with the bad. So you could look at it as the lazy man's way out because you're only training for 20 minutes, say 40 minutes a week. But if you're looking at the intensity of the training and the type of training that we're doing, you definitely won't be thinking it's a lazy way out.
Okay. Where does the science come from? Is it?
So originally, this X-Body device that we use, there are other machines on the market, but this is one of the most advanced suits. This is actually from Austria. But originally, originally EMS training was developed in Germany about 40, 50 years ago. So the actual technology has been tried and tested over a long period of time. So a lot of people say, oh, this is new. It's new to us. It's new in South Africa. We're a developing market in the EMS industry. But in Germany, there's more EMS studios than there are actual general fitness facilities because they've had the technology for so long. It's tried and tested. And when you talk to people in Germany about normal training, they don't know what that is. EMS is normal training for them. So we're developing into that, and a lot more people are getting to know about it, but it's still relatively new in South Africa.
Okay. And where are you guys based?
So we're actually based in Cape Town, in the Portside building. So we've been based there since July last year, and that's where our main studio is. We are busy setting up our studio in Northcliffe in Johannesburg at the moment, and we will be releasing a couple more studios in the next couple of months. The locations are yet to be determined, but we will be growing our brand.
When will the Northcliffe branch be open?
Northcliffe branch will be open on the 1st of July.
Oh, that's soon.
Yes.
Okay,
so we're busy with the final prep at the moment, but by 1st of July we will be training clients.
Yeah. What has the uptake been like in Cape Town?
So in Cape Town, we've had an awesome uptake in terms of how clients are reacting to it, how people that don't know what EMS are reacting to it. We really are starting to change the belief system behind its shock therapy. So a lot of it's growing. So not a lot of people know about it, but the more that we are getting out there and the more people get to know what EMS is, the uptake on it is phenomenal. I mean, I think we've had 25 people in the last 2 weeks come into our Cape Town branch, and we've almost had 25 of them sign up with us. So once people see the benefit of it and can see what EMS training can offer them, it's amazing. But that's the main thing. The nice thing about EMS training is you can train anyone from the morbidly obese people that really can't exercise in a normal facility. We have the specialized equipment and specialized knowledge to train those types of people, all the way to the endurance athletes that are doing the Cape Epic. I mean, so we train a range of people. Another range of people we train, our youngest client is 16 and our oldest client is 71. So you're looking at broad spectrums of people, and everyone can get a benefit out of it. So it's just about teaching and educating people on what EMS is.
Yeah, that's amazing. So if I'm a personal trainer and I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm thinking I've got some clients that are really kind of plateaued.
Yes.
And I've kind of done everything, and I've tried all the tricks in the book, Would you recommend for me to try this one?
So that is mainly one of the reasons that I actually got into the EMS industry. I mean, I was a personal trainer, training people the conventional way, and I think every personal trainer and every person that's been to a personal trainer has experienced that plateau level. I mean, there's only so much that you can train change within a training routine. You can only add in so many extra days of cardio or extra days of training or extra time on your training to test the body. Whereas when I brought some of my clients across to the EMS way of training, it just tests the body in a whole different way. The way the muscles are worked, the glycogen depletion within the muscles, the calorie expenditure of a session it's just on a whole different level. So I think every single person, from the person that is going to be experimenting with training on the machine to a personal trainer that is going to be maybe implementing an EMS part into their training for their clients, it's just a major benefit for all.
Would you say people should stop going to a regular gym when they do that?
So this is a bit of a toss-up between caught between a rock and a hard place. There is major benefit from conventional training. For example, the hypertrophy of conventional training, the general cardio, and the day-to-day training. So we recommend 2 to 3 times a week training on EMS. We wouldn't push it any more than 3 times a week because of the recovery period needed from such an intense workout. So on the other days, you should be doing some form of exercise. I tell my clients we should be training between 5 to 7 times a week. You might not be training with the EMS 5 to 7 times a week, but you are still wanting to do other workouts and training and stuff. And people enjoy it. I mean, I'm not going to go and tell a cyclist that enjoys riding every weekend to now stop doing their cycling but train with us. So it's taking the good with the bad, where someone might think that going out and cycling 100 k's on the weekend is absolute insanity. So I say that EMS training is a good additional benefit to complement your conventional gym training, not a complete replacement. But then on the other side of the spectrum, if people aren't exercising at all, this is a good way to start. And this could be your only form of exercise. But I think it depends on which side of the fence you're sitting on.
So you used the word recovery. Does that play a big role in?
Well, I think everyone that knows a little bit about training knows that recovery is as important as the training. I mean, if you're looking at bodybuilding and building as much muscle as possible, you're actually building your muscle when you're resting. So your actual building of the muscle isn't happening in the time of the session. When you're actually doing your physical reps and your training, that's not when your actual growing happens or your actual benefits are happening. It's when you're resting. It's what happens after the sessions. So rest and recovery is paramount in terms of in EMS training, especially because with the intensity and the DOMs, the stiffness that you feel after the session can be extremely intense. So we would only really do a strength type of session geared towards the muscle building every 5 days. So we would give your body that time to recover, because if you are training too hard, we've all heard of overtraining, where you actually start to break down the muscle. So we will in our programs, when we're building up our programs for our clients, we will build in those rest and recovery periods just so that we can maximize the results of the training.
Would you actually recommend this to somebody who's doing bodybuilding competitions?
Yes, so we prep a few bodybuilders within our studio in Cape Town. We've seen there's a major benefit for bodybuilders in terms of EMS training creating muscle density. So in the bodybuilding industry, the older bodybuilders and the guys that have been in the industry for a lot longer develop muscle density, but you only develop that muscle density after doing resistance and strength training for a couple of years, let's say 6 to 8 years. That's where you really start to see the development of the density in the belly of the muscle. Whereas with EMS training, we've seen a major benefit in terms of the muscle density within a year or two. So you're looking at speeding up that timeline in the muscle density phase a lot quicker. As well as with our cardio training, you're burning a lot more calories. So your calorie expenditure in a cardio session with us is way more than spending 45 minutes on a treadmill every day or on a stepper doing your fasted cardio in the mornings, where you can just do a 20-minute session with us. So you're halving your cardio time and actually doubling your calorie expenditure. So there's a major benefit for that. Also, getting closer to competition in the peak week time when you're looking for that depletion training. The glycogen the glycogen depletion in the muscle when you're doing EMS training is far more than what you could ever do in the gym. So, and also the nice thing when you're trying to do your depletion training in your final weeks as a bodybuilder, you're trying to train your entire body. You're trying to deplete the body as much as you can of those glycogen stores to give you that dry, that hard, lean, toned look. So doing the EMS training with it already training your entire body, you won't have to go into the gym and do 4 depletion sessions to make sure you deplete the whole body. You could do 2 sessions with EMS, and then you could make sure that the glycogen is truly depleted.
Okay.
In our Cape Town studio, we've actually just teamed up with a practice of physiotherapists. The nice thing about the EMS, one of the biggest benefits of EMS training is there's low impact on the joints. So you're not having to do that jumping up and down and running on the treadmill or cycling and things like that to get the cardio benefit or even the training. So there's very low impact on the body. And you could also basically sit here. We've trained clients in wheelchairs before. We've trained clients that actually can't stand up. We've got a soccer player at the moment that has just signed with Cape Town City that we're busy training him, and he fractured his ankle. But we can still train his upper body and get the muscle recruitment and the muscle contraction in his legs so that he doesn't lose his strength ability, because we can train him sitting in a chair. So we can put the suit on him, he can stand still in a static hold and still exercise, sit in a chair or on a gym ball. So for injury training, it's major. There's major possibilities there in terms of what you can do. There's been a couple of endurance athletes that we've trained through injury, rugby players, cricket players. We've worked with a couple of players from cricket clubs in Cape Town. We've actually been able to get them back onto the field quicker than their expected recovery time because they're able to still train. And when you come back from your injury, you haven't lost all of that fitness or that strength in the muscles. Whereas if you're off for, let's say, 6 weeks, 6 weeks to not be training is a long time, and you can start to feel it in the body. You get the niggles and the aches and the pains when you get back. Whereas we can keep them almost at their best for when they get back.
So your company is called Future Fitness.
Yes.
Right, so I'm thinking into the future. Once we have colonies on the moon, is this going to be the way we're going to train on the moon? Because there's no gravity on the moon.
I definitely think it could be. We haven't really started researching into that yet, but it could be something we could look
You're
at.
not looking to put up a franchise on
Not
the moon?
yet, not yet. It could be a possibility. But the reason we went ahead with the name Future Fitness, it's all quite futuristic if you had to think about it. So, just the fact of that you're training in a suit, and we've had a couple of different analogies on the suit, the RoboCop suits and everything. So that's why we went with the name Future Fitness. I think it is, it's quite apt to the training that we're offering, and just the benefits and everything that we can do is just so far beyond what we've seen before and what we've known in the fitness industry. When I first heard of EMS training and I was told what it can all do, my first thought was, this is just another gimmick and another fly-by-night, and we'll see if this is still around in a couple of years. And after actually getting into the training, I just realized how futuristic this actually is and how awesome it really is.
Great. Tell us about this machine we've got here.
Okay, so basically this is the EMS device. This is what creates the magic. This is how we train our clients. So basically what happens is we connect the clients to the machine, and we also offer wireless training, which is really cool. So you could put the suit on and go for a run around the block, and you could still be connected to the EMS. Yes, we offer the wireless training, which is awesome. So yeah, you could jump on your bike as long as you're within a couple hundred meters on the machine. Of the machine, you can do a full workout. So you don't actually have to be on top of the machine. So as you can see on the sides here, we've got the different muscle groups. So we can control each and every single muscle group individually. The reason that's nice with the training is, say for example, a lot of people have very strong quads but very weak hamstrings. We can then select the hamstrings and actually make the impulse and the contraction on the hamstring a little bit stronger and a little bit more, because you want to create that muscular balance. So there's a lot of muscles that work together in a lot of exercises. For example, your quads and your hamstrings, or your biceps and your triceps. But you want to get the best out of each muscle. So we set each individual level onto the suits for each muscle group so that we're getting the best out of each muscle. But for example, if you've got an injury in your arm, we could then either make sure that we turn that electrode up so that we can help that that injury or try and help speed up the recovery of that muscle. But we also could turn that off if you have an injury that we maybe can't activate. For example, a torn muscle or something like that where we don't want any activation. We can still then just turn that muscle group off and we can still train your entire body. So that's the nice thing about the customization abilities of the machine. What's awesome about this as is we can actually control how far we want the muscle the impulse to travel into the muscle. Whereas someone that has a lot of muscle, you'll want it a lot deeper of a contraction because you want the impulse to travel into the muscle a lot further. Whereas someone that doesn't have a lot of muscle, you would want a lot less of a depth because you don't want to travel past their muscle, then you're not really contracting anything. So that's where we talk about the customization again of the training that we offer. Again, if we have someone that has a little bit of extra fat on them, we can control how, if we want it to penetrate all the way into the main belly of the muscle or into the fat stores, and then we can work on the fat stores or we can work on the muscle layer. So I think it's awesome how customized the workouts can be.
Yeah, incredible. All right. So getting back to Blade, where did you get started?
So I played professional sports when I was in high school and the following year outside of high school. And then I moved down originally from Joburg, I moved down to Cape Town to study. I studied exercise science and human movement science. So I've always been in the sports and the fitness industry. Always had a passion for it, been in the gym since I was 16. Obviously throughout the training with the sports and things like that, it always was a passion for me. After I finished my studies, I went on and I was coaching. I coached sports for a while, coached rugby, coached cricket, got into that athletics academy and started coaching there a little bit. And from there, went to explore personal training. And like I said earlier, heard about the EMS training and then saw the benefit in it because I saw a lot of my clients hitting that plateau that we spoke about. Actually got involved with the EMS training and haven't really looked back since.
Okay.
Just been involved in trying to advance my knowledge.
Which sports did you play professionally?
Cricket and rugby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who did you play for?
So I played cricket for Gauteng and for the Lions in the junior sides, and then I played rugby for the Lions as of the Lions Academy sides.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So any Gauteng fans would know about Blade?
Correct, yes.
That's very cool. But then isn't the natural thing for sports teams to get set up with the EMS?
So we are in the process of that. So we are working with, like I said, a couple of the cricket players and soccer players. We haven't got involved with actual teams yet or unions yet. We are in the process of that. Obviously, we're doing some market research or things like that with the different players that we are working with, and then that will be the next step, is to actually get involved with the sports teams, because not like we spoke earlier about the injuries. It's one thing dealing with the injuries when it happens. It's a whole different ball game with injury prevention. If we can go and we can prove and show how we can prevent injuries from happening, which we know we can, it's just about now actually putting it into practice. And I think there is a major aspect of that for the sports teams and for the players involved in any sport.
Do you know of any teams globally that's using it?
I do know that I think it was either the Argentinian or the Spanish football side that were using it in the World Cup prep. I know the German football side definitely uses EMS training in their World Cup preparations. Usain Bolt uses it. He's actually quite a big advocate for EMS training around the world. But yeah, no one that I know of offhand. But those are the ones that I know.
Opportunities to come. So
it definitely is. Exactly.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Blade. It's really been great chatting to you, and it's a phenomenal concept. So if I'm kind of sold on what you said, but I want to give it a try first, how do I go about it?
So the best thing to do is what we do for all of our clients or people that potentially want to train with us, we offer them a session, because it's all well for me to say to you, I can do this and this and this for you, and I can make you lose fat and gain muscle and all of this, but it's one thing experiencing it. And I think the most important thing is to actually experience the training, and like I said, every single person gets their own benefit out of it. So what I think might work for you, once you've trained and tried it, you'll find your own sets of benefits and aspects of the training for yourself. So I would definitely say the best thing for you to do is to try it and just see and experience it for yourself.
Okay. And where can people find you on the internet?
So we've got our Instagram and our Facebook pages. It's Future Fitness Portside, and in the next couple of weeks will be Future Fitness Northcliffe. So you can go onto our Facebook and our Instagram pages. We do quite a lot of content knowledge, so uploading videos of what the training does, how the training works, a lot of videos of our actual clients training. So if you want to know more, you can head on over to our social media pages. So on social media, on Instagram, it is Future Fitness Portside, and on Facebook, it's also Future Fitness Portside. And then our website is futurefitness.studio.
Okay, excellent. Well, great. Thank you very much again. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck with your business.
Thank you so much.
Great. Great.